and white. So we have the Black Pope ruling over the White Pope, and the Black Pope also rules over all the other orders, because the Franciscans have a general, the Redemptorists have a general, the Benedictines have a general, the Dominicans have a general. The generals of all these orders are subject to the Jesuit general. And so the Jesuit general then rules the entire Vatican Empire, as it was called by Nino Labello in his great book, The Vatican Empire. And then from there, the power goes downward. The Pope controls his hierarchy. The hierarchy, and it's a very interesting tie to this, whenever you see an archbishop in a particular city, there is always a nearby Jesuit church or Jesuit university. And it's the Jesuits then are overseeing that archbishop and making sure that he's carrying out his duties pursuant as the Pope has told him to, and the Pope then is subject to the Jesuit general and his assistants. So that's the essential how the Roman Empire works in the world. In London, for example, you have the Jesuit provincial of Stonyhurst. He rules over the Archbishop of Westminster. In New York, you have Edward Cardinal Egan, who brought down the World Trade Center. He is overseen by the Jesuits at Fordham. In Washington, D.C., you have the Archbishop and Cardinal there, McCarrick. He is ruled by the Jesuits at Georgetown University. Any major city where there is a cardinal or an archbishop, there is a nearby Jesuit institution to oversee it and make sure it works. And the Jesuit order is completely outside the jurisdiction of the Roman hierarchy. No priest, no archbishop, no bishop, no cardinal can tell any Jesuit what to do, because they're completely outside of their jurisdiction and subject only to their immediate superior, who then in turn goes back to the Black Pope.
So what we're looking at is basically two whole organizations, one political, one religious, one working behind the scenes and controlling the religious front. It's window dressing.
That's correct.
Everything you see about Catholicism today is being controlled by the controllers behind them.
That's correct.
And that's just amazing. And you know, we're seeing that come out where everything is just leading to the one seat in Rome. Now, a lot of people think that the Antichrist is going to be the Pope. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I believe that in Revelation 17:10, when it refers to the 5 kings have fallen, and one is yet to come.
Yeah.
But I believe those 5 kings are actually what they are. You know, they're kings, basileis, and those 5 kings that John is referring to, they had come. They were Roman Caesars, and they died. The one that was the one in the time of John's day, when he was moved to write the book of Revelation, and that Caesar was Domitian. And then there was one who is yet to come, and that one has not yet come. I do not believe he has come. I do not believe it was Constantine. And when this 7th Roman Caesar comes, when the 7th king comes, he will die, and he will come back to life, and he will be the 8th king. But that 8th king, according to Revelation 17:10, is one of the 7. I believe the 8th king is that 7th king, having come back to life, because I do not believe the devil has the power to resurrect a dead body and put it all back together again.
Right.
So I believe that 7th king he'll receive his mortal wound, he'll come back to life, he will be the beast or the Antichrist, the one who was and who is not, and yet is, and the whole world will wonder after the beast, who can make war with the beast, who is likened to the beast. And so that 8th final king will be the Antichrist, but he will not be the Pope, because the Vatican will have been destroyed. There will be no more Roman institution, and it will be a completely different new world government headed in the Solomon's Temple, turned into the International Masonic Luciferian Temple in Jerusalem.
Right, because I see the Pope as a beast, but he always comes up as secondary or another one, which a lot of them do. I don't think you could actually pinpoint. I have a listing on my websites of the top 10 beasts that I see over and over again in today's politics, today's news, and the codes. And I have a listing of the top 10 beasts. Because there's many. I've always said 2005 is the year of beasts. We're just seeing so many come to power. And they're all labeled as beasts because that's what they are in the pawns of Satan. Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think? Now, you stated, I just read in an article, I was skimming through, I think it was your article on the Islam Network in the United States, because I just put up a website last week, and I'm going to put that article over there on that website. You call America the Holy Roman Empire of the 14th Amendment.
Correct.
You want to explain that one a little bit?
Okay. When our country was founded, it was founded as a federation or a confederacy of sovereign states, sovereign nation states. That each state was free, independent, and sovereign, and was their own nation in and of themselves. When they they first read their own first state constitutions, and then they entered into the federal constitution. When they did that, they delegated specific and certain of their own sovereign powers to a small central federal government. And apart from those specific delegations of powers, the federal government could do nothing. What we had then was truly a Congress. The Congress was limited in what it could spend its money on by the 17 things in Section 1 of the Constitution. Congress shall have power to so-and-so and so-and-so. Therefore, they have power to spend money on that. Apart from those 17 things, they could not spend money. So therefore, the Congress was truly limited in its legislative power and its power to spend money. The President was truly limited in what he could do. The President could not declare war, for example. The Supreme Court was very limited in the cases that it could hear. It could not hear any case because there was no such thing as federal question jurisdiction at the time. So what happened is because, and the other major issue was that American citizens had American citizenship, Article 1, Article 4, Section 2 citizenship, and the privileges and immunities of that subordinate and derivative American citizenship, because they were first citizens of their state, and thereby then citizens of the United States. The privileges and immunities of that subordinate American citizenship included the Bill of Rights. That meant that the federal government was absolutely limited in its power over the citizen to do certain things. There was absolute limitation there. The Jesuits hated this. They called our Constitution a pact with the devil, a satanic document. And therefore, pursuant to the doctrines of the papacy, that the priesthood is to alter all forms of government to be in agreement with the papal government, they put forth the 14th Amendment. And the 14th Amendment, in Section 1, when it said that all persons born in the United States and are subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States first, and then of the states wherein they reside secondly. So what they did was they reversed the origin and character of American citizenship, and they made U.S. citizenship primary and state citizenship secondary, or a subordinate and derivative state citizenship. And the privileges and immunities of this reversed new American citizenship do not include the Bill of Rights. That includes the first 8 amendments to the Constitution. They are not privileges and immunities. And if they are not privileges and immunities of U.S. citizenship, we have no citizenship. There is no absolute limitation on the powers of the federal government. And so that decision was the Slaughterhouse cases of 1873, where they specified that. Then every case that proceeded after that, Presser versus Illinois, Maxwell versus Dow, Twining versus New Jersey, Colgate versus Harvey, all substantiate that. The Slaughterhouse is the holding case. So when they reversed this citizenship, they created a whole new nation. For with a new citizenship comes a new nation. And with a new nation, we might as well call it a new name. And therefore, the new name I've given it is the Holy Roman 14th Amendment American Empire. And it is not the same country.
All right, well, thanks for that. And what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up the first hour. Okay. And we're going to take a 5-minute break, and then we're going to come back and pick up where we've left off.
Okay.
So all those listening right now, we're going to take about a 5-minute break, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes.